Alright, so I may have been a little bit reserved after week 4 episode, but after this recent episode, I gotta say this show dope as fuck. Lovecraft Country episode 5. Now, like I said in last week's episode, there's really no way for me to review this week to week without having spoilers in it. So here's your warning now, because this video is very spoiler heavy. So in episode 5, we pick up with Montrose in the room where the lady was, who was the only person who could translate Titus's pages. And when Letty and Tick come in to start their day with trying to decipher these pages, they find Montrose sitting in the room with no Letty. Well, Letty instantly thinks, oh man, you let her go, that sucks. She was the only one who could translate this language, but she's been a prisoner for a long time, so kudos to you. Well, Tick, on the other hand, one look and he already knew what was up. He knew that he did let her go, but she was gone to the upper room. And as soon as he figured this out, he showed us all why he was a first round pick in the bumper squad, and he put them jumper cables on my man. And if Letty hadn't called for help, he probably would have beat Montrose to death. And I don't blame him. I say that because Montrose has been working against his son this whole time. And I understand you and his relationship isn't the best and you weren't the best father, but you've already traveled down this path. You have so much knowledge that he's seeking. Why not just sit down and have a conversation with him and explain why it's so dangerous, instead of leading him on all these wild goose chase? I mean, by talking to him, I'm pretty sure he'll figure out that Tick isn't trying to harness this power in the same way that he is or the Braithwaites is. I personally think Tick is trying to get it to stop the Braithwaites from getting it. But if he just talked to him, they can figure this out and they can get to the end goal so much quicker. But then if they did that, we wouldn't really have a show. So I kind of get it. It's all the power of the pen. But Montrose, you did deserve to get your ass whooped, so good job, Tick. This episode centers very heavily around Ruby. Ruby is Letty's sister, and she's a strong, proud black woman in a time where it is very difficult to be a strong, proud black woman. With that being said, I really can't think of a time where it's not hard to be a strong, proud black woman. But I mean, it was a lot worse back then because you had to deal with segregation and open racism. But I mean, you kind of got open racism. I digress. Ruby only wants to get ahead, but as we see in this show, she just keeps getting knocked down, and it's primarily due to the color of her skin. Well, when she meets William Braithwaite, he uses this low moment in her life to manipulate her and give her an opportunity. If you've seen this episode, you see that he gives her the ability to turn into a white woman. And yes, if I had the chance to turn into a white person in a time where it was very difficult to be a black person, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And this show does a really good job portraying emotions and different scenarios. I mean, because Ruby's in a white woman's skin and she's been a black woman in a very racist time her whole life. So showing her just simply walking down the street how timid she is and how polite and respectable and passive that she is, because she's used to being a black woman. And around white people, that's how you would have to be, or you could get yourself into some serious trouble. So even though she was white, she couldn't break the subconscious stuff that she has built up inside her whole life. And I thought that was interesting. I mean, there's even a scene where she goes to an ice cream shop and she gets the ice cream for free. And the free ice cream wasn't the strong point of this scene. It was the fact that she got to go in this shop and she got to eat ice cream, something she's probably never got to do in her life. And I really enjoyed that because this show does a great job marrying real life issues with fanatical things. I mean, they used magic to show a black woman in a white woman's skin, but by doing that, they showed the difficulties that a black person would face in their day-to-day life and how hard it was just to walk up and down the street. Now, with this newfound power, I thought that Ruby was going to do a lot more, and I have to say I was disappointed in the choices that she made. She goes in and interviews for the job that she's been trying to get the whole season, and when she sits down with the guy, he's instantly blown away with her resume. He sees that she's taking classes and she has all these certifications and all these qualifications, and not only does he hire her on the spot, he hires her as the AM. So I know that had to take a blow to her, because she's thinking, this is the exact same resume I've brought down here numerous times. And because I'm a black woman, you never even looked at it. But now that I'm a white woman, not only will you hire me, but I can be second in command? Yeah, that's wild. Now I can totally understand Ruby's frustrations, but what I didn't like is that she attacked the black woman who got hired, because this store is now segregating, so they hired one black woman, and that's the position that Ruby had been going for forever. So she goes down and attacks this girl, and I'm like, why are you mad at her? Yeah, she says she got hired on a whim. Yeah, she doesn't have nowhere near the qualifications you have. But That's the problem with people in general. I don't want to say everyone, but for the most part, we take our frustrations out on the wrong person. I can't be mad at you for getting a job that I wanted. I need to be mad at the company that I've applied for multiple times that just kept passing me up. But she would go and pick with this girl, mess with this girl, and I'm thinking, man, if I had this power, I would use it to mess with the people who mess with me. And later in the show, she does. I mean, she does get some payback on some people, but not the way I would have. I would have taken that chance to, talk crazy to somebody who's always talked down on me because I ain't got to worry about being arrested, beaten, or killed or anything. Or I would, speak my mind to somebody who's always belittling me. I would do so much more with it. And it would be small things, but in this time frame, it'd be huge for my personal ego. And I think Ruby just missed a lot of chances with it. With that, William is the one who granted her this power. And I have to say, when he started giving her the potion to transform her, it brought up a whole bunch of questions in my head. The first being, why is it that we never see the Braithwaites in the same scene together? I mean, I realized this back in the early episode where Christina comes home and the cops follow her, and then William comes outside and beats him down. And right then I was like, I've never seen them two on screen at the same time. I mean, even when they were back at the Braithwaite mansion, William would come and get them when it was time for dinner or anything. And then when they go down, Christina would be there. So when I started seeing Ruby transform this episode, I had an aha moment. I was like, I bet you William is Christina. And it was. And I thought that was so dope because I'm thinking this whole time, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did, that they're brother and sister, but they're the same person. Again, another reason that I'm hooked on this show. And so the episode ends with Letty and Tick deciphering the pages of Titus that Letty took a picture of because Montrose destroyed the original pages. And on the other side, we have the reveal that William is Christina to Ruby. And I have to say, I really like where this show is going, and I like the fact that they're making everyone connected because Christina's already dealt with Tick and Letty on numerous occasions, and now that they brought William into Ruby, it's like she's playing both sides of the field. She's like, okay, I can't get what I want over here directly, so let me attack the sister, and then I'm pretty sure their paths are going to cross, and I'm just curious to see where it's going to go because I want to know what the pages do. Like, once they get the pages deciphered, do they have everything figured out? Can they get to the garden? Or is that just the next step in the National Treasure, Indiana Jones type puzzle that they have going on? And on the flip side, what is Ruby gonna do? Is she gonna continue to be a white person? Is she gonna continue to keep taking this potion? Is she gonna continue to be around the Braithwaites? I have no idea. And I also want to know, is there a downside to this? Because I mean, it's clear that Christina has been taking it to be William, and we don't know for how long, but what effects would it have on someone who isn't inclined to magic? But regardless, whatever route they take, I'm all in, and I can't wait for next week's episode. So for the comment combo today, I want you to let me know, would you have taken the potion that Ruby took to become someone else? If you would, what would you do? If not, why not? Whatever you think, comment below and let me know. Now, as always, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, and subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.